My name is Just a Fan, and I'm here today to apply for the Marvel Movie Marathon Experience, put on by CableTV.com. There may be other associates or affiliates for this project, but it looks like, from what I can tell, it's mostly put on by CableTV.com. Now, they're looking for one person, just one, and it's going to be that person's job to watch every single Marvel movie that's been made until now, 2019, with a few exceptions, all in a row. It's going to last about 42 hours straight. Now, the person who gets chosen, the lucky person who gets chosen, will get some prizes, copies of the movies, a little bit of money. Most important to me, the honor of being chosen to be this person to watch these movies. And they'll have to review them online, talk about them a bit, maybe rank them. And so people often ask me, as a movie reviewer and as a person who just loves movies, what kind of movies do you like? What's your favorite genre? Stuff like that. And my answer has always been all of them. It's kind of surprising. I've always been surprised someone, finds out I like to talk about movies or I like to review movies, and they say, oh, what kind? And it's like, look, I don't know, all kinds, and it's never mattered to me. I've always loved all kinds of movies, from the romance to the horror to the adventure to the sci-fi to the documentaries. There's no real genre to me that steers me away from itself, or a genre that steers me to it just because it's inherently that genre. And so I've always loved all kinds of movies, and it's funny how often people ask me, what do you tend to like? Now, if there's one genre of movie that I don't even know if it counts as a genre, one type of movie, if there's one type of movie that I really haven't brought myself to go see a lot of, or, taking the time to look into or appreciated, and I don't want to say avoided, but if there's one genre type of movie that I just have not seen, either intentionally avoiding them or inadvertently avoiding them, it's been superhero movies. And it's kind of crazy how many superhero movies have been coming out in the past 10, 11, 12 years. Not just from Marvel, but from DC and other movies too. It's kind of crazy, and from what I understand, these movies often intersect and are kind of like sequels to each other. I can't even comprehend the fact that there's so many movies that can all have the same streamlined story or streamlined universe, but I guess it's happening. And so, even though I haven't seen many of these Marvel movies before, I'll take a look at the list again. I was looking at the list of movies for this marathon experience earlier, but I think I could count 2 or 2.5 of the movies on that list that I've actually seen. I think I fell asleep during one of them. The Marvel Movie Marathon Experience seems to be something created for someone who's a big Marvel fan. Someone who's seen the movies, someone who appreciates all the movies. I think I even saw in the description somewhere, someone who's the ultimate Marvel fan or wants to prove they're the ultimate Marvel fan. And that's fine. Maybe I'm not the best person for the position, but I also think, wouldn't it be a great idea to get a fresh, new perspective on these movies from someone who's never seen them before? And I was really just thinking recently, about a week and a half ago, wouldn't it be great to check out these Marvel movies, see what they're all about, watch a couple of them, and hear this opportunity comes up for the Marvel movie experience? It's a perfect match. At least to me, it's a perfect match. I'm taking this perfect opportunity and using it as an excuse to make my own Twitter account. So now I have a Twitter account. I can kind of extend my movie reviewing platform to a different website. I can increase networking, which is great. The person who gets chosen for the Marvel Movie Marathon Experience will have to talk about the movies on Twitter. So I'm working towards that. I want to make some connections and build some awareness there, which would be great. But for me, the Twitter thing, that's kind of the easy part. I can type about a movie easily to send that off. That's like no big deal. What I really want to do is talk about the movies. I want to watch these movies, learn from them, feel from them, and share that. So what I really want to do is, before the whole marathon starts, make a video about watching the trailers for these movies, talking about what I expect here, what I expect there, what I expect there, and then maybe during the marathon or after the marathon, go back and make some more videos about, this one here, after watching the trailer and watching the real thing, that one really met expectations, or this one exceeded expectations, or this one kind of fell short, or this one subverted expectations. That's what I really want to do. Yeah, the person who, gets chosen for this position, they're going to get some money and some cool prizes and copies of all the movies, and that's great. I don't want to invalidate how cool and generous that is by the company putting this on. But really, for me, it's all about the honor of being chosen for a position where someone says, hey, we want to see what you say about these movies. We want you to watch them, and we want to hear what you have to say and how you feel about them. That's the coolest thing right there. That's why I do everything that I do. Everything I do in front of a camera where I talk about movies, it's all about helping people appreciate movies and sharing how I feel about them. If even one person at any point, whether it's during the Marvel Movie Marathon or something else I do, if at any point someone ever watches one of my videos and they say, gee, I never thought of it that way before, well, that's a cool new perspective, and I kind of like that. Or someone says, you know what, I never knew how to appreciate this movie, but now I know how to appreciate it. Or maybe they say, I never even realized how much I appreciate it, but now I really do. That really helped me out. That's great. If someone says anything even close, one person says anything even close to any of those things, that makes the whole thing worth it. That'd be the greatest honor right there. That's what I really want to do. So that's kind of where I'm coming from personally, in terms of, and it's going to benefit me too. I'm going to get to watch all these movies. I'm going to hopefully benefit someone else someday. Maybe I already have. Maybe maybe I'll benefit even more than I ever possibly could imagine. But that's the whole reason of what I want to do, or why I want to do it, and what I want to do. That's my whole real core thing driving me to apply for this position for the Marvel Movie Marathon Experience. Also, with the passing of the late great Stan Lee, this experience seems like a great way to kind of remember and even honor his legacy and everything he left behind. I mean, there haven't just been Marvel movies, there's been Marvel comics and TV shows and merchandise and stuff for decades. There's been Marvel for decades. And to think that the whole world, millions of people all over the world, have been so positively influenced by the creations of, at least in its origins, this one guy. And to think about how, I've seen a couple interviews with him and I've read about him. Stan Lee was so positive about it. He loved everything he was able to do for humanity. He felt so honored that he could touch so many people and make them feel so positive. He helped them feel empowered and inspired, and positive emotions and negative emotions sometimes, like they could escape from reality for a while. It's so great. And so whether or not I'm a fan of the Marvel Universe or the Marvel movies, just appreciating this whole legacy and this whole universe of Marvel and realizing, yeah, people do love this stuff. People have been loving it for years, and people go in droves to see these movies. It hasn't been me, but just knowing that maybe for a little while there, I can become a part of that and really appreciate it. And it might not just be for a little while. Maybe I'll get so sucked in it'll never come out. It's just a cool thought to think about, this great thing that's been happening, and I can, kind of appreciate it from the inside for once rather than from the outside, where it's like, well, yeah, I can see they like that, but what's it really like to appreciate the Marvel Universe and the Marvel movies? I even met Stan Lee twice, and it's kind of funny. He was the one celebrity, every celebrity I've ever met, they have a picture of themselves there, or something there that they can sign when someone buys an autograph, except for Stan Lee. He had nothing there. So luckily I had my Back to the Future hat on, and they said, okay, so where's your item for Stan Lee to sign? And I said, item? Here, sign that, I guess. And so luckily I had the honor of Stan Lee signing my Back to the Future hat. And I gotta say, there's probably not a lot of these hats in the world that are signed by Stan Lee. It's an interesting thought. Anyway, just a fun memory of Stan Lee. And at another convention too, about a year and a half ago, at a different Comic-Con, I was there, I went alone, but I ran into some friends there, so I was walking around with them. It was a lot of fun. And they said, hey, we're going to a panel at some point. You want to come with us? And I said, sure. What's the panel about? And it turns out the panel was all about Marvel movies. When we got there, there were 12 or maybe 16 Marvel movie titles all on this screen here, and the whole point of the whole panel was to decide what's the best Marvel movie. It was kind of like a little tournament, so to speak, and it was really funny being the one person there who had seen one of the movies and everybody else had seen all of them multiple times. They brought up people to say what they thought about this movie, that movie. It was a great panel, but it was just funny being there and having no idea what was going on and just saying, I guess I'll take your guys' word for it. For the record, the winner was at that time Black Panther. That was the most recent movie that had just come out before that con there. So just fun memories with Marvel movies and fun memories with Stan Lee. And it just kind of makes me feel like that's all the more reason for me not having appreciated all the movies at the time for that panel, and just feel like personally that's all the more reason for me to want to be a part of this Marvel movie marathon experience. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it's been interesting hearing from someone who hasn't seen very many Marvel movies. For the record, I actually pulled up the website here on CableTV.com. They have a list of all the movies that are going to be a part of the Marvel Movie Marathon Experience. I gotta get that right. And so for the record, I could say I have seen the first Iron Man movie in 2008 when it first came out. I saw 2 or 3 Incredible Hulk movies throughout my life. I know one of them had Liv Tyler in it, so if the Marvel one's the one with Liv Tyler, then great. I've seen that one. I've seen part of Iron Man 2, I think when it first came out on TV, I think, though. It was late at night and I fell asleep. I didn't really like it at the time, so it's like 2.5. I've seen Thor, but again, it was at late at night and I fell asleep after like half of it, or I don't remember anything of it. The one thing I remember from Thor was how he's like a god and he's on Earth and there's like human stuff he doesn't really get, and it's kind of funny because it's like, haha, he doesn't get it. So I remember that. So it's like 2 and 2 halves. I definitely saw the first Captain America movie. I think Tommy Lee Jones is in that, right? And he's awesome. So there's 4 if you add up all the halves. And I think I saw the first 15 minutes. First 15 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's one especially where when someone hears I haven't seen the entire movie or even most of Guardians of the Galaxy, I get like, "What? You have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy? What is wrong with you?" kind of thing. So that's all the more reason for me to want to be a part of this Marvel movie marathon experience. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thanks very much to CableTV.com for setting this whole thing up. Thank you very much for anybody watching this who is, whether you're here for the Marvel experience part, whether you're here for just Marvel in general, or whether you're here just to hear me talk about movies. I just really appreciate any reason why you would be here watching this. Thank you especially for any consideration I would get for this this position for the Marvel Movie Marathon Experience, and especially thank you to Stan Lee for really setting up this whole thing. Hopefully at some point I'll have another video, a follow-up video saying, hey, guess who was chosen for the whole Marvel Movie Experience here? Here we are. Thanks again. I'll hopefully see you in that video.